So I wanted to test out more of the new all bosses, all relics settings in the randomizer. So I decided, what's another cool randomizer preset we can mix and match with? We haven't done any Magic Mirror in a long time, so Magic Mirror is the preset that allows us to transition between first and second castle with the press of a button. So with that in mind, I figured that could be a cool way to route all bosses and all relics, is just warping between the castles. So let's try it out. Let's see how it goes. And of course, as always, if you're watching on Dragon Blitz Daily, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and join the live stream over on twitch.tv/DragonBlitz. It'll be a good time. I promise. So it's SotN, but Harmony of Dissonance. Kind of, yeah.
I'm bad at the game!
In a way, but also... No, Harmony of Dissonance, you still had to go to, like, warp rooms to swap, I'm pretty sure, right? Unless there's a thing I'm misremembering. Thank you, RP Ginger Gaming. Much appreciated. This color combo's looking kind of nice, not gonna lie. Yo, see you later, Wrathful. Thanks for hanging out. I wonder if... random starting zone would also be helpful for this randomizer. Who knows? You did, but there's multiple warp rooms. Gotcha. Well, it's nice to start with a Chrysogrim and all, but we're not going to be keeping this for long. Thank you for the good luck. I appreciate that. I'll grab the Cross Shuriken. Oh, unless I library card. This gear is good enough that I think it's worth library carding, actually, to keep our stuff. It sucks because, you know, it means we don't have access to a library card later, but...
I'm interested.
Oh my god, we're just so rewarded. What the hell? Starting with Soul of Bat 2, this might be the greatest randomizer seed of all time. And a duplicator in the shop.
Farewell for now.
Oh, I can't afford it yet. But we'll be back. We'll be back. Magic Mirror is very fast and hard to route. I think by that you mean it's bullshit. Magic Mirror is a very bullshit randomizer. It's like the epitome of just guess correctly, because it mostly comes down to, hey, did you find the Magic Mirror before I did? Then you win. Also, there's all the map changes and stuff. This is one of those things that we haven't seen in a long time, is I forget all of the map changes in Magic Mirror. But they're there. For sure. What if you find the Magic Mirror but you don't find the Moon Pearl? What the... Are you smoking those Moon Pearls, son? I told you to lay off the stuff. It's not good for you. Well, the thing is the issue with racing this is that once you find the Magic Mirror, the game is, like, over. In all honesty, I think Magic Mirror would be a better preset if you started with it to prevent that much bullshit. I should grab this warp while I'm here. No, the warp is open by default, actually. We're good. We'll come back for it later. Are the map changes randomized? No. Magic Mirror has, like, set map changes. I forget all of them. But some areas are blocked off until you get the Magic Mirror. I don't remember if this is one of them or not. It might be. No, it's not. Okay. Some relic locations are completely blocked off until you get the Magic Mirror. Like, Sword card is blocked off. Ghost card is blocked. I don't remember if there's any others in the first castle. Nice. Getting more magic here is nice. You soft locked yourself? You can soft lock yourself by getting out of bounds on accident. That's one of the things with Magic Mirror. So you can accidentally get thrust out of bounds. But if you got soft locked via the logic, like you couldn't progress, that might be a skill issue. Because as far as I know, logic error soft locks just don't exist in the randomizer anymore. Like all of those have been patched out, unless a new bug has been reintroduced or something like that, or introduced, I should say. Out of logic silver ring can get you in trouble. Yeah, again, like I said, it's skill issue. Like I think the only soft locks left are like skill issue ones. But I could be wrong. I would love to find another library card, though, because we know the shop has a duplicator. But that is really annoying, because it's one of those things where if you're just not experienced with the randomizer, it could just come up and you didn't know, and then you die. But to be fair, one of those things that one of those things that I've learned from other randomizer communities is sometimes you just say, so sad, too bad, our randomizer is good. If we keep the soft locks in, you just have to learn how to avoid them. Like the Metroid map rando, you can soft lock yourself all over the place in the Metroid map rando. But they kept those in because the map is a lot more interesting. Like they're able to randomize the map in much more interesting ways. Oh yeah, this is blocked. If you allow for those soft locks to exist, funny enough. So it's like a, trade-off. Shield Rod could be useful. I mean, we have Chrysogram, which is like nearly the best thing we can have. I'm mostly just looking for a library card at this point. I also don't remember if this is one of those presets that has a guaranteed library card somewhere. It might. Leapstone's great. I'll take it. And more magic. We just really want to find that magic mirror, though. That's the thing. All of these checks are great and all, but we need that magic mirror. Even in vanilla SotN, you can soft lock yourself if you're not careful. Could you do a glitchless soft lock in SotN? I'm trying to think. Scylla? You can't Scylla soft lock yourself in vanilla unless you... I guess you technically can? If you wait until way late in the game to fight Scylla with Soul of Bat, and you're able to do infinite wing smashes, which is incredibly niche, I guess, but I guess technically possible. Maria cutscene in Alchemy Lab? Yeah, I guess you can do that glitchless, but it would require a lot of things. Yeah. You do need to know at the very least how to get Soul of Bat without going through Chapel. Jewel of Open is interesting here. We did see that one cutscene soft lock Maria once with Silver Ring. That wasn't in a soft lock. It was a thing that caused the cutscene timer to get played multiple times. Yeah, it's actually very difficult to soft lock yourself glitchless in this game. Yeah, that was the period of time where we were doing the hitless speedruns, too. Which I did end up submitting that to GDQ. We'll see if that gets in. I think I only submitted 200.6 and Glitchless were the only two things. I guess Allrock's Death, that soft lock also is a thing. But it's been that's been patched out of Rando for such a long time, and I only think it works on PlayStation. Like on 360, I don't think you can soft lock there. I think you can soft lock there on Saturn? I vaguely remember seeing Maria All Bosses runs where I think Talik soft locked there once, but I could be wrong. All Rock soft lock is in a... Oh, it's not a soft lock. It's an 18-minute delay. Ah, yeah. I'm remembering now. It's been so long. Are there PSP exclusive soft locks? If you abuse the save and quit function, I believe you can get out of bounds with that in soft lock. But then you can just load your save and quit file, because you have to make multiple saves to do that, and one of those saves will be fine, so I guess no. Yeah, Picasbury has played a lot of the Castlevania randomizers. I don't think he's ever played SotN Rando on his channel, but maybe. I know he's played a lot of Dawn of Sorrow and Aria. Still looking for a library card. Would be nice. That's enough to buy the duplicator, which is nice. You know, Picasbury has a second channel that's like used for like just casual stuff and like streaming. And they've booted up many a Castlevania stuff because of it. This is an all relics run, so we do need to grab that. Also, we have Jewel of Open, so it might want us to go into the caverns now. In fact, I'm going to grab this shortcut for now, because it might be useful, and then let's go to caverns. I actually kind of want Stone Sword for Doppelganger 40. Oh, I forgot to turn on the boss tracker as well. I don't think the boss tracker is going to bite us in the ass, though. Surely. I just won't forget. I simply will not have the mental mistake of forgetting a boss. Didn't you say that last time? Yes, but the whole point is that we learn from our mistakes, right? If I was just doing the same stuff every single time and not learning or getting better, then like, what's the point, you know? The other thing we actually need to do is, I forgot to do this earlier, but we should probably do Castle Entrance, and we should probably do, what's it called? Spirit Orb. Because both of those are also just like random things, so... It might be better to wait until I get the... In fact, it probably is better to wait to do that stuff. Now that I'm looking at it. Because unfortunately, this is one of those things where it's like, the route is annoying because I have to get glasses, or sorry, mirror, the magic mirror as quickly as possible if I want to be optimal about it. Because every check I do right now is bad until I find mirror. It's one of the reasons why Magic Mirror is like not great for racing, because it really does just like come down to, oh shit, you found the Magic Mirror early, you just like went to the right location when there was like a weird 33% chance or something, or a 50-50. It's very rough, but... Speaking of, I guess when I was asking people to like give me ideas for new randomizer stuff, a lot of people I think misunderstood what I was asking for when it came to like randomizer, like why I don't like racing the randomizer that much right now. And I think some people came up with some smart stuff. I think some people are I'm just very happy they watch the channel. I'll leave it at that. Hey, keep watching the channel. You're doing great. The adults are talking now. But I forget who it was, but one person kind of brought up the idea that I think Symphony of the Night as a game is just somewhat flawed due to the fact that, and I brought it up in the video as well, for racing purposes, the tools that you get in Symphony of the Night are either useless or break the game. And there's not a lot of in-between stuff. Whereas, if you look at other randomizers that have maybe a little bit more depth to them, thing like A Link to the Past or Super Metroid or whatever, those are games with like a lot of different like combinations of items and things that unlock specific stuff that also require a variety of skill sets and tricks associated with them, a lot of which are not glitches at all, right? Where Symphony of the Night, you basically have two states of existence. Do I have bat or do I not have bat? Yes or no. And then everything else is just a bunch of keys that unlock specific locations. And then like a handful of movement things that like can speed up or not speed up your movement. So I feel like Symphony of the Night is very much a binary of win states. Why not just eliminate bat? Then there's no point in playing Symphony of the Night at all, in my opinion. That's like saying, hey, Super Metroid Randomizer, guys, we're taking away Morph Ball. You can't play the game with Morph Ball anymore. Oh, the thing that, like, keeps the game together and is the reason why the game is fun in the first place. Without Morph Ball, the game becomes, like, an absolute boring slog. Oh. Again, I think the idea of removing stuff from the game be more like removing Speed Booster. No, you're wrong. Sorry, you're just wrong. Ask any Metroid rando player right now, would you rather never find Morph Ball or never find Speed? 100 out of 100 times, they're going to say, I want Morph Ball. I would give up Speed 100 times out of 100. Because you don't need Speed to beat the game at all. You need Morph Ball. Not only do you need it, it also enables, like, the majority of the movement tech. Someone go ask Oats. You guys think I don't know this shit? Just because Speed Booster lets you go fast doesn't mean that Speed Booster is the same as Bat, because Bat lets you go fast. Anyways, this isn't... The analogy aside... The reason why I think getting rid of Bat is not a good solution is because it takes away the aspect of Symphony of the Night speedrunning that people enjoy. Yeah, simply take away Wing Smash. And the thing is, they already did that. They're doing a tournament of it, and everyone's miserable. Yeah, I do think Symphony of the Night just kind of exists in a state right now where unless we allow for more advanced logic, things like the speedrun logic that force tech into the rando in a lot of spots, but then that becomes very frustrating as well. I don't know, because we've tried that before, and it becomes pretty frustrating when you're forced to do some janky movement to do a check that then unlocks Soul of Bat. And then it's like, well, I have Soul of Bat now. Time to win the game. You can still Wolf Charge. Vanilla Wolf Charge is literally useless. Unless you are like level 50 with like 400 mana. So then at that point, it's like, okay, take away Bat and give us discounted Wolf Charge. We already have presets that do that. Or at the very least, the discounted Wolf Charge part. So it's like... There's a reason why Lycanthrope is probably the best race tournament preset we've ever had. Because it does exactly that. It changes the way that the game is played, such that movement and execution are important, but you still get to unlock relics and stuff that make a difference. But yeah, my entire thesis here is that I think that one person is correct, that Symphony of the Night just, at the end of the day, the way that it exists, unmodified, outside of randomizing locations of things, is just not deep enough of a game to support the type of gameplay that I'm asking for, which ultimately is just one person's desire. You just found their comment? Yeah, Chow, whatever Chow is spitting, I think was correct. Right? And just because I don't like the fact that there's giant 50-50s that determine the win, completely mitigating any amount of like skill or interesting decision making throughout the entirety of the rando until that point. Just because I find that stuff annoying doesn't mean that other people don't like it. Right? Other people might find like, oh, I'm still playing through the game and like I'm in a race channel and I'm like joking around and having fun or whatever, or oh, it's just a for fun tournament that I don't have to like actually try for. That's fine. Like if that's your perspective, that's cool or whatever, but for me it's like I want to care about being good at the game, and if the randomizer never incentivizes people actually getting good at the game, and mostly just comes down to, well, being good at the game can help you in some cases, assuming everybody takes the same route. But what really matters is guessing correctly. And a lot of people, I think, are, how shall I say, morons? Because they assume, don't you understand? It's a randomizer. It's supposed to be random. Motherfucker, do you not understand that, like, that is like the least of the problems here? God forbid you try and have... All video games exist on a spectrum of controlled versus chaos, right? You have pure chaos, which would be playing a game where you literally go to random.org and whoever gets the bigger number just instantly wins, and you can run a tournament of that. How much fun are you going to have doing that? Zero. There is no fun in going to random.org, higher number wins. Let's run a bracket of that for $10,000, right? Or you can do the exact opposite and play a solved game with no variance whatsoever, like tic-tac-toe. Run a bracket of tic-tac-toe. No one's going to have fun because it's going to be infinite draws. So obviously, all competition exists somewhere in the middle. There is a spectrum here. There is not pure random and there is not pure solved gaming, right? So... if you want to be an obtuse asshole about it and say, well, it's random, therefore you can't be mad. Chess, hello? Even, let's be real, chess is dead. When was the last time you gave a shit about chess competition? You, personally. No, it's not. The thing about chess is a video game that is designed to die, right? For example, here's a better example of like chess in the sense of it being purely ordered is, let's say we run a bracket where you're only allowed to do the English opening. That would be applicable to what I'm talking about. That would be 1,000 draws in a row every single time. Because all you have to do is just learn the 12 permutations of the English opening or whatever. And everybody will learn the counterplay to that, and then there you go. Fisher Random, though? Exactly. That's adding more chaos to it. That's why some people prefer Fisher Random. Thank you, Bane. Long story short, you need there to be variance such that you can use the variance to your advantage in a way that, like, expresses skill, versus something that is too random to the point where you can't express skill at all because there's no point in trying to when the determining factor is, well, it was random, so I couldn't win. We already did these bosses and these checks, so let's go do in the first castle. So now we're doing second castle stuff. Oh yeah, I have to do it this way. So just because I'm interested in playing a format where the balance of skill versus like risk reward is a little bit more even, doesn't mean that, oh, you want a randomizer to not be random. Like, obviously, there needs to be some randomization such that you can then use your knowledge of the game and of the randomizer to deduce the location of other relics or routing ideas that make sense. Whereas if none of that skill ends up mattering, because the most important thing is just guess correctly, then ultimately, I personally am going to find that format not very interesting. Because all it is you are turning the video game into random.org higher number wins. Right? And for some people, if they want to turn random.org higher number wins into a long, drawn-out, like 40 to hour and 10 long minute generation of that random number, that's fine. You're allowed to enjoy that. You're allowed to like the idea of Symphony of the Night skin over random.org higher number wins. But it pisses me off when people don't view it as a much more analogous thing to random.org higher number wins versus the other alternative, which it would be like Fisher Random Chess, where, yes, the starting setup is randomized. However, having a high amount of skill and knowledge in the game will determine your success, right? No one's going to complain that, like, bro, my fucking queen is in the corner. This seat is bullshit. I hate this. My fucking queen is in the corner. You just got lucky. Like that. No, the game is still randomized, but in a way where skill still matters. It can exist, and it does exist. Isn't that crazy? What are we doing here? We probably want to do this stuff now. God damn it, I have 50 rooks. We do have this warp. That's good. We'll grab this. So yeah, nothing. Long story short, if you're one of those people that's like, stop complaining, it's a randomizer, just have fun, you're allowed to hold that opinion the same way I'm allowed to want the game to be more competitively viable. Problem with chess is that it doesn't have Fog of War. So true. The smartest and most handsome and cool guy who has the thickest skin and is super epic and epically based and nobody hates him said that once, I'm pretty sure, right? Was it, I think it was in The Art of War, or The Inner Game of Tennis, I think. This is all bosses, so we do need to kill this guy. Sun Tzu, yes. Very smart and wise. The thing is most people don't have your level of execution, so the only thing that differentiates the run is RNG. I would argue that the execution is not a limiting factor in Symphony of the Night in particular, because there is nothing in Symphony of the Night that is difficult to execute. From a randomizer perspective, within a less than a month of like genuine practice, you could be the best execution-wise in this game. This game is not difficult to execute. And I mean that. Nobody puts their fucking nose to the grindstone and actually does it. But anytime someone does, all of a sudden come out of nowhere and become godlike at the game, everyone's like, I could never do that. Even though it's happened in the history of Symphony of the Night like a dozen times. There are so many people that got into playing Symphony of the Night through racing the randomizer within like the last year and are like top level as far as execution. It's incredibly easy. There's nothing difficult about executing this game. So people who are like, I can't execute as well, so therefore I need it to be random. I'm sorry, but you're just being lazy. If you care about competing in the game. If you don't care about competing in the game and you just want it to be casual, that's fine. Again, that's just a different perspective. And again, we're allowed to argue or disagree, I guess, that one perspective is quote-unquote better than the other. My first instinct when I was bringing up the fact of someone coming up out of nowhere and becoming executionally good in a short amount of time was literally Durdrak was the example that came up in my head first. And that's just like a recent example. There have been other people. There's been plenty of people who, if they dedicated their time and effort to the execution that this game actually requires, especially on a randomizer level where you're not doing any of the insane, like, frame-perfect glitches or whatever, like, it's very, very easy. Gallivanter's doing great. There's so many people, yeah. So I don't think it's, like, a absurd take. Doesn't this turn the... Oh, yeah, you can't do it in this room. Oh, yeah, it's because the fucking room is different. I forgot that the map has changed here. It happens to me every time I play this preset. Most people are casuals. If you're entering a randomizer tournament for the idea of executing your skill versus another, or just racing in general, wouldn't you want skill to matter? Okay, so this isn't a guaranteed library card. I couldn't remember if this was one of those seeds that has that as a guaranteed library card or not. What version of the game am I playing? I'm playing the Symphony of the Night Randomizer. You can type !rando in chat to learn more. I'm not saying the randomizer as it exists should change. I'm saying the presets that we choose to race for competitive formats should change. What version of the game do I like the best? If I'm playing the randomizer, I'm playing the PS1 version. If I'm speedrunning the game for like world records, I'll play the Xbox 360 version. Like the 2023 preset for my tournament. I mean, my tournament wasn't perfect either, but we were using the limitations of the presets that existed at the time. And I tried to make sure that there was at least agency in your preset of choice. Even if the seed itself came down to guessing, at the very least, you could choose presets that you're more comfortable with. Which I think helps, but doesn't alleviate the problem entirely. I think people don't like Mist Rising in Warlock because it's slow. I think it literally just comes down to like, the movement here is slow, so I don't like it, which is fine, but... Because executing a Mistrise is annoying, but it's not that hard. It's more annoying because if you fail, you like lose a lot of time. Problem now is that we've gotten used to all this stuff. I would argue that Symphony of the Night has never been good. We just were lucky as far as like randomizer skill, right? We just got lucky that for the most part, no good players early on decided to try and kill the game by realizing that the optimal solution is to just guess. It took us a while to figure out that the optimal solution was to just guess. And nobody was good enough to just guess correctly and win consistently with that. And by what I mean by consistently is like make major upsets or like completely blow out the player by like 10 minutes or whatever. Like that was just unheard of when the randomizer first came out. Whereas now it's incredibly expected that if you just don't make the correct decision in a race with like 4 other people, you will just lose. Because one of the people in the race will just choose the correct option. It's just statistically incredibly likely.
Thank you.
So, is there anything else worth buying? Not really, to be honest. We already have a Mana Prism. Just a duplicate.
Farewell for now.
I do have a Buffalo Star. I knew I had one. We should do a Rando Shuffler and explode this man's brains. I've done Rando Shufflers before. Remember Creature Skip Gamble? It was more than 2 years ago. I'm pretty sure it was 3 years ago at this point. I think it was a thing in 2022. Because it was before the Lycanthrope tournament. And the Lycanthrope tournament was 2023. So We have to make sure that we kill the bosses in this area before I forget. Which means actually I should do this. I think trying to force like a gentleman's agreement is a bad idea personally, but yeah, he's dead. Okay. I do think if there was a mod of the game that tracked bingo objectives automatically, then that would be a very good format that a lot of people would enjoy. But the other issue would be balancing, because I don't think my bingo format was perfectly balanced, to be honest. I think it was decent, but there were certain squares and certain square combos that were too strong. The limitation of forcing random items also made it so a lot of squares were just like not very reasonable. Yeah, I also think that the game should handle all of the decision-making stuff. Because then, like, what happens when somebody who is not a part of the community has been playing the map or playing rando or whatever for a while, and then they're like, wait, I'm not allowed to do this route? This is the route I always do. Or whatever. I forgot to do the inverted library checks. Let's go do that. I forgot that this has the 2 library checks. Maybe I could also wait until I find Mist. Kick them out. Ban them forever. I know you guys are joking, but like, yeah. Yeah, guarded OG with the silver ring rule was a limitation of the randomizer at the time, for sure. But also, I don't think most people cared because most people... I don't know. It was like early enough that it was fine, I feel like. Now we go up. I do think being able to switch between castles with the press of a button is very cool. Wow, so much money that we'll never use. Well, there's all the Vlads. We can go beat the game, right, guys? We can change guarded OG to force that rule. That is true. Yeah, I think a magic mirror type item to let you switch between castles at will would have been cool in the vanilla game for sure. I mean, guarded OG has its own set of issues. Mostly that the reason why the OG randomizer was good is because the routes forced you to go back to the same locations. For the most part, and most seeds were pretty chill about it. But it still had a lot of really rough 50-50s. Like the Jewel of Open 50-50, like if you start the game with Jewel of Open, it still sucks. That shit sucks. It sucked back then, and it still sucks now. That's just a thing that exists in the game that would determine enough matches nowadays that it would probably be considered unacceptable. But back then, we just didn't know any better because the randomizer just came out. So most people didn't really think about the meta implications of having such a brutal randomized 50-50 at the start of the game. So. Eldritch Dream Games, thank you for the raid. We aren't going to get away from 50-50s, but we can make them not as bad. The idea is that you don't lose the game because of a 50-50, ideally. The idea in my mind is that if you lose the 50-50, you lose like a minute or two, but there's enough other decision-making trees to help even that stuff out. Hopefully. That's ideally what I want, but that's incredibly difficult. And also, like, how do you balance that? The issue with forcing any bat relic to give you bat is that it then hides more relics behind complexity because we have a complexity system where bat is just too powerful. From a balancing perspective, bat is too powerful because it unlocks all flight locations and all transformation lock locations besides mist. Like, if you're looking for a singular relic that unlocks the most locations in the game, it's Soul of Bat. So because of that, you can't just give away Soul of Bat for free like that unless you balance the entire preset around it. And then at that point, I don't know. I do think there is a world where redundancy in relics can work, but you would have to balance the entire preset around that. Reverse library cards do have their own problems, mostly due to the fact that, like, whoever finds a library card gets a bigger advantage. But you came from Dragon Ball Daily. Nice. I'm glad you decided to show up. But yeah, I do think overall, I did take a look at the comments in that one video, and I do think most people are very understanding and get it. I don't think there was only a handful of people, I think, at all, maybe one or two, that were complaining about the idea that I'm silly for wanting a randomizer to be competitive in some regard. But nice. This is annoying because now it's like I want to find Mist, but if Mist is in the library, that's kind of annoying for me. I do want to... Oh, I'm going the wrong way, actually. I actually was going the right way. This way is just faster. I think leg day movement, or yeah, I think Symphony of the Night would be a different game if there were more variable movement options that were maybe not as powerful as Bat, but like at least close, right? Now, if getting the Soul of Wolf gave you all Wolf relics and the discounted MP cost that you get from Lycanthrope, that could be an interesting parallel, and I believe that's a thing in Chimera. But Chimera also adds the Mist stuff, right? And I guess I haven't played enough Chimera to give a super strong opinion on it. But add a relic that makes you big toss. That could end up being more annoying than it is useful, but maybe. Maybe if you like hold the special button, any damage causes a big toss. Yeah, maybe I should look into Chimera more as a potential other cool randomizer preset. Maybe Chimera plus all bosses, all Vlads, because that is an option now. We can now have the win condition be all bosses and all Vlad relics. That plus Chimera could be a good workaround, I think, for a lot of the issues that I'm currently feeling. But again, it all takes testing and time and stuff like that. You know, let's just do it this way. This way is more fun. Copium. And by more fun, I mean I'm bad at the game. There we go. First started playing SotN casually about a month ago. Learned about your vids from a few GDQ runs. Do you have some tips on shield dashing consistently? Yes. Type !MASH or !shield dash in chat. It'll bring up a tutorial I made a long time ago that explains how to do it. But if you want the TLDR, you want to press shield and then backdash. And not backdash, then shield. If you think about it in that regard, where you're pressing shield first and then backdash, it makes it a lot smoother. Just to let you know, personally, you'd find that interesting. Oh, like documenting the process of like going from being bad at a game to like learning how to speedrun it. Or not bad, but like understanding, you know, the basics and then learning to speedrun on top of that. There's a lot of people that have done content like that, and from my experience, both as just like someone who casually watches a lot of other people's speedrun stuff, as well as just understanding content in general, it ends up not being that interesting because the answer to the question, how do you get better at a game, is practice. And watching somebody practice something over and over again until they can't make a mistake anymore is not nearly as interesting as watching the end product. Right? So if anything, what people would rather watch is you getting good behind the scenes, showing up, being like, hey, this is where I was a month ago, this is where I'm at now, showing the progress in like a video form, which would require a lot of documentation, a lot of editing. But yeah, I don't think people are actually interested in like experiencing the process. I enjoy watching people practice in real time. Yeah, but you're definitely the minority. I think the issue is that it's a ton of effort for a video idea that is on the surface good, but probably not worth the investment. Because not only do you need to practice the run, you need to document it. You then need to script out a video, edit that video together, all while so not only are you getting good at a speedrun, you're also documenting it and like editing it and stuff like that, which I think people have done before. Just montage the progress. You are so smart, actually. That's the problem, is you're too smart. This is nothing, right? Yeah, it's nothing. You forgot the forehead at the end of your message there. We're missing 2 relics. How are we missing 2 relics? Yeah, click the montage button on the editing software. Oh, Silver Ring. I forgot about Silver Ring. Yeah, that's fine. Sucks that we never found another library card. We'll just go from here. It's not that big of a deal. Actually, we should warp. I'm being stupid. It's not that it won't work. It's that in my mind, the cost associated with the amount of time it would take to genuinely get good at a game, like, because that's also the issue, is like, what is the threshold of this is good enough to release as a video? Right? What's the threshold of this is a good end time, right? I got good at Mega Man X. What would my final time have to be? What would my PB time have to be to release that video? Top 10 in the world? Top 15? Top 25? Oh, I do have a karma coin. You're so right. Because then the majority of the effort would be spent getting that end time. You can ask pros beforehand. Ask them, like, hey, what's a time that is, like, considered good? Yeah, I mean, ideally you get world record, but that's never going to happen.
Stop talking to me! Oh, it's fine. I'm gonna save the game a lot.
Yo, Cryo. Thank you very much for the 55 months of tier 2. You the GOAT for real, for real. I think what I'm trying to say is that you're better off coming up with a more creative solution that requires less effort for a content idea, in my opinion. Just get it good enough for people to say you're good. Yes, but that's very subjective. There's a lot of issues. There's a lot of gray area. There's a lot of, okay, so I'm dedicating my time to, let's say, get top 20 in any percent. Everyone would be like, damn, you got really good at the game all of a sudden. You know, you went from not being able to beat the game in like an hour to being top 20. That's cool. Now make the video on top of that. But to get to the top 25 spot is going to take probably months of like actual dedicated training. And that's months of me not spending time playing SotN. Like, I'm not going to do both. It makes no sense for me to do both. Does that make sense? So I basically have to turn the entirety of like me playing SotN on the back burner, which means no daily videos, no main channel videos until I finish the I got good at Mega Man video. And that's for one video that may or may not get like 100,000 views. Like months worth of time and effort. Like the time in versus time out risk reward there, it just doesn't make sense, unfortunately. And I think that's one of the reasons why most people don't do that kind of stuff. Like, if there was a viable market, and which boss did I forget? Son of a... Hold on. I guess I can actually just open the time attack menu. Figure it out. Who did we forget? We killed Akmadon. Medusa, Darkwing Creature, Grand Floon, Galmoth, Death, Doppelganger. Ralph Grant, Sypha. Oh, it was Hippogriff, yeah. We forgot Hippogriff. Yeah, we definitely forgot Hippogriff. But yeah, long story short, if there was a market for these types of videos, I feel like somebody would have already done it by now. But I think the reason it doesn't exist, or very rarely exists, like there's no content creator whose like career is getting good at a video game and posting like the progress of it, is because the amount of time and effort it takes to do that is just too much. I'd argue whether or not I'm very likable in Enduring Undead. I think I am likable to a specific kind of person, which is intentional. Because if I was likable to everybody, you know everybody includes Nazis, right? I hope I'm not likable to those guys. Alright, let's get out of here. We'll go this way, fuck it. So we theoretically should have finished this a lot sooner, because I just forgot about Hippogriff, but that's fine. This seed felt pretty okay, even though we got Holy Glasses, or sorry, Magic Mirror pretty late. So. Am I likable to the French? That's up to the French to decide. Yeah, whoa, whoever said everybody. It's so true, so true. The coin will be at the very end, yeah. I'm saving it for the end, don't worry. to the French barely, we'll take it. I mean, I'm gonna play through the entirety of the Mega Man X series. Does that mean I'm done playing Mega Man X1 forever? Probably not. I mean, isn't there an X randomizer? Do people like the X rando? Is it good? Is it worth sinking my teeth into, perhaps? Because that could be another way for me to take me playing through the series of X games and like getting more content out of it. Because I like Mega Man X a lot. My main issue is that I don't want to learn to speedrun the game again. I've already learned to speedrun the game like over 10 years ago. I don't want to learn again alongside the amount of time and effort it would take to actually get really good at it versus the amount of time I would rather spend just having fun with it. I want to get to the fun part sooner, and that's what randomizers do. Do I need access to the games? You mean like files? Perhaps. I would play a Kirby Superstar Mega Man X combo rando. Does that exist? I know the Link to the Past Super Metroid one exists. Can Kirby get some love, actually? Hold on. That sounds kind of fire. All right, we'll coin flip before Dracula. If I could live anywhere in the castle, where would it be? Nightmare's a good decision. There's good company around there. 100% Kirby Superstar after the Mega Man X runs? Maybe. I like Kirby Superstar. I think I 100%ed it once. Around the same time that I was speedrunning Mega Man, but I never streamed it, so. Where's my Chrono Coin? I'm blind. And the answer is Tails, as always. It's literally always Tails, guys. I don't know how to describe it to you other than it's always been Tails. Now let's do this. You like commerce? This motherfucker believes in monetary value and property. Get him! Anarchists, attack!
My mother no more. How is it that I've been so defeated? You have been doomed ever since you lost.
This is fun. I actually do like this preset quite a bit. I don't think I would rather ever race it, since we are still talking about the ideas of like tournament stuff. My current thoughts on the idea moving forward for any tournament ideas, I probably won't host a tournament anytime soon. Is the other tournament still happening? Probably. Who knows? My idea would probably be a multi-category, multi-preset tournament that requires all bosses, all Vlads with specific presets. But that's going to require some testing. So Tidbit 2 is going to happen eventually. I would be happy to help with the organization and streaming of Tidbit 2 if that happens.
Farewell, my son.
Maybe versions of the randomizer that are less silly than Tidbit was, but still fun at the end of the day. Who knows? Or it's whatever Eldritch wants to do at the end of the day. So we'll see you in the next one, YouTube. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and more randos coming up. Bye-bye.